boots, we can clip into most diagonal routes and do what's called the upwards or downwards teleport by a few pixels. And based on the position we are going, we can get stuff happening. And yeah.
Okay, yeah, and we've got a piece of heart in Link's house, so nothing too substantial to start off with.
Yeah, and boost players
Looks like
to...
Tower of Hera is a crystal.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch the stuff on the restream. 5-6 at Ethan Palace and Pendant at Desert Palace. And that was a blue mail at the Highly Island. We could get that right now, but our racers don't look like they want that.
We've got a bomb capacity upgrade, 300 rupees, and a bundle of bombs.
Well,
At
perfect for the...
Sahasralas, yeah.
Perfect fitting for the bomb capacity upgrade. Since we are got bombs, they don't have to worry that much about bombs in Kakariko. You need 3 bombs to finish Kakariko, and well, we already got them. We actually see some divergence. Christos going over to check the directly towards
Silver's
Kakariko.
all ready.
Yes, silvers are great.
Yeah, Christos already has the silver arrows. Uncle just had some rupees. I think it was a big 20. That's red, right?
Yeah, big 20. There are 28 of those in the entire seed, so 27 left. And this little money crab giving out a lot of bombs. Really good, really well.
I didn't quite catch what was on Lumberjack.
It looks like it was a sword. I catch it on the restream.
Yeah. And Espeon just picked up his silver arrows.
Yeah, one of the nice things if you get boots early, you can directly check those locations that are only boots locked.
Yeah, that was a sword upgrade in Lumberjack.
Yeah, I guess boost players hope to find another sword, a second sword, before they have to shoot if they want to pick that up.
We've got literacy over on Christos' side.
Well, we could decide to check the palace right now and to
There's
get
a
a first
sword.
sword.
Christos has a sword. And bow. And Quake.
That well looks well.
Overall, I don't think that's a bad pool for early on in the game.
Well, we could now decide to go over to Ethan right after Kakariko.
Yeah. Especially since we can get a full complete.
Yeah. We also got oh, we got the cape.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. Look, we could now get closer to the Egger play for the second sword. That would be dumb. Silver on the other hand is nice to have, but it's not the thing that I personally want to see early on, just because it makes a few tricks just hard.
And a sword in the back of Blind's hut, bombs in the library, which Christos is going ahead and picking up those bombs.
Did Christos then not check what's in Blind's hut? Because he only has one sword.
Yeah, I didn't think he checked it.
Interesting.
And Espeon now has picked up their literacy and their master sword.
Christos just tried to do a little clip to get this item and get out. He fades away to get out though. So he had to research, he was stuck in there was no way to get out.
Did you see where Christos nabbed the flippers?
They were in the tavern, I think. Yeah, it seems that we got a drinking game in chat. Everyone, someone soft logs, take a shot. Uh, I personally would not recommend that. We might see a lot of soft log based on what seed we get.
You can always do shots of water. Be safe. Okay, the flippers were in one of the huts in the town.
We also got
Oh,
ether.
and we have ether, yeah.
While we already have 2 medallions, only one of them isn't really necessary for completing the game, and that's the medallion that is required for Misery Maya. Even if Tadrock is a crystal, we can get in there without any problems.
And we've got fire rod, mitts, or sorry, gloves. Gloves, not mitts.
And the most important item of them all, the Bugnet.
Yep. Never know when you need to catch a fairy in a bottle.
Or even better, get a bee. Bees are good. Bees are nice friends.
Friends, right. Nothing but a big 20 in Ice Rod Cave, so that's not necessary.
Not deciding to do the water check through. He has the flipper, so everything in the water area is logic. Even since we got glitches, some stuff in the water would still not be in logic. We got flute. Flute is one of those items that we don't need in our digits for anything, but it does allow for some quicker routing. So always nice to find that early on.
Yeah, even though it's not required, it's definitely always useful.
And even though we got glitches that are allowed, not required, that make the flute completely unneeded, they will
Make
all.
sure,
Uh,
make sure. Let's stand and salute.
of course, they will. Without that, we would be pretty bad. If I'm going to check the bomber tablet right here, has the master sword.
And nothing but a big 20 on the Bombos tablet. Or was that Quick tablet?
No, bomber tablet is here in the desert. The ether tablet is up on the mountain, and the quake, that's a fish.
I keep forgetting. You only need the book and the master sword to get the tablets, correct? Or is there something I'm missing?
Correct. We only need the book and the master sword. And the swordless, we would instead of the master sword need the hammer, but we got the master sword here. We got no spoilers. Also, a thing Christos will be able to catch right now because he did not, because he did get the glove from the Minimodem cave. He can just check about cave right now.
We definitely have no shortage of bombs at this moment.
Yep, and it looks like Espeon is setting up a Death Mountain ascent. Yes, based on the collision right now, right, landed on the area where the Bombos tablet is. No, the Ether tablet, we just talked about that. And was able to go over to the Tower Pharaoh just from there.
And we've got Shovel in Tower of Hera on Espeon's side.
That shovel is definitely something that you don't want to find too late because then you can't route it in with anything. But right now, if Espen finds the glove upgrade, maybe he goes to Mini Muldon before, he can route it in with, together with Checkerboard Cave, quite nice. And the second item here in the Tower of Hero is a heart piece, so all the other items in here are dungeon items and, of course, the key.
And Espeon already making his way over to Moldorm. First attempt.
On his way to get his first crystal just 12 minutes in.
And 12:22 when he finally got that map and his crystal.
Christos got their ability to beat Landrunners here. Desert Palace is just a pendant. We still might get an item from Landrunners.
And Espeon is going ahead and checking the other tablet, and it's just a piece of heart. So neither tablet is going to be required.
Well, that book can still be useful by checking out the item that is on the pedestal, but otherwise this book didn't pay out too much.
Do you have any predictions as to whether the pet is dead?
I personally hope for the Moonbird on pedestal. That can still happen based on the pendants that we have in the Dark World.
And Christos is making very short work of Lanmo with those silvers. And it was just a compass on Lanmolus.
Yeah, but he gets the green pendant. That's another pendant that will give us an item, but the pendant itself is not required to beat the game. And we get our first bottle from the old man. Espeon is probably really thankful of that.
The one thing I like about watching a tournament with glitches is all of the visual glitches that you end up seeing.
Yeah, most of those visual glitches are just the game having the wrong tileset loaded. Some of them are a bit more complicated, but it's usually just something not getting loaded in time. We also just saw Espeon do clip to the King's Tomb. That's not in logic, even though it's quite easy to execute as long as you know what you're doing.
And Espeon is choosing to skip over that piece of heart.
Yeah, cut every corner you can. Espeon in the last match went into Ganon's tower actually with 5 or 6 hearts, so taking some risks to cut off the seconds against Christos.
And Christos is going ahead over to Easter Palace to get the crystal there, more than likely, since he not only has the bow, he has silvers, and he already has the big key.
And that early big key can be quite the blessing, especially if all the items are in the next 3 chests. Espeon meanwhile went in 1 pixel too few. If he would have been 1 pixel further in, he would have done downward teleport and would have been able to go over to the east side of the mountain.
Espeon doing a little bit of skywalking. Oh, and
Finds
we have Moon Pearl on the floating island.
and we can get that right now, quite easily. Let's hope for Christos that he knows how to get that item, otherwise it might not be able to get that.
Cane of Samaria is still relatively necessary for Ganon's tower at this point, correct?
Yes, since we are in Overworld glitches, the Cane of Samaria unlocks actually on its own 1 chest combined with the Pyro Rod 5 chests in Ganon's tower.
I'm usually a fan of, in most matches, hoping for a cane-locked Ganon's tower. Is that mean of me?
Only if you are no glitches and the Tadrock and Mizrimaya are pendants.
I try to be as mean as I possibly can. And Christos is taking on the Armos Knights at this point, which should be incredibly easy with those silvers. And it's 10 bombs.
Yeah, the boss lets him do some additional explosions because he didn't explode that quite well. That Paradox cave was boring.
It was very boring. Mostly arrows. And an arrow capacity upgrade. Looks like we're going to get a Sahasrara check from Christos. And it's just a big 20. So getting that green pendant, not necessarily the best idea. It didn't really pay off. It was a good idea to start, but it didn't really have the payoff that Christos probably hoped for.
We also just saw another visual glitch that you actually can get quite easily in no glitches runs. For some reason, if you are using the flute, not all color palettes are exchanged really, and sometimes you see a guard with the wrong color.
Christos has his blue mail.
And Espeon just did a Death Mountain descent and was able to clip directly into the Waterfall Fairy Cave. Christos right behind him will actually have to only exit once, so compared to Espeon's 3 times. It somehow looks that they just are looking at each other right now.
Chat, I love you. Don't ever change. I think I've been taking too many language classes where I'm so used to saying E for an I. So, love y'all. Christos, Christos, Christos. Is that better, chat? Christos. Chris. Christos.
Espeon just did a clip into one of those upwards corners. That's not that easy, actually. It's really dumb to actually do that if you try it out. Other way to get through the same corner would have been to just dash buffer through. It's quite easy to do if you are somewhat decent at dash buffering. And dash buffering you do by just pressing A and the direction at the same time.
Espeon got an extra sword. Where did he get that?
The additional sword Espeon got was actually in Blindside. Christos did not
That's
show
what it
that.
was. It was the back of Blind's hut, not in the 4 chests.
At this point, I just hope that Christos will find another sword so that he does not think that the one on the lumberjack is the only one he can get.
Okay, and Christos is heading over towards that moon pearl. There we go.
Yeah, he gets it. Took a few more times than Espeon did, but he gets it, and that's the most important thing.
And Espeon is heading over to Eastern Palace.
He will be able to get his second crystal. He never actually got the green pendant, and he probably will not even care about that one at this point. I'm personally actually wondering that Espen did not go to the Dark World at this point. With that moon pearl, we can actually get to pretty much anywhere in the Dark World.
Just to repeat, Espeon picked up his first sword in the back of Blind's hut, and both of them had at least one other sword upgrade as well. So it was the sword upgrade in Blind's hut that allowed Espeon to have the Master Sword.
Yeah, and funnily, the other sword upgrade that Christoph found as well was in the back of the well, so behind the wall in there.
And we do know where at least one other sword upgrade is, I believe, and both of the runners know that as well.
Yeah, Boost runners did check that location, and especially Christos hopes for one more sword upgrade because Espeon is fine on swords right now. Espeon sure is fine with Master Sword
he's
Cannon.
hoping not to have to go to Lumberjack, because Lumberjack would mean pedestal. He would have to get all 3 pendants. But it looks like he's about to. Sorry, Michael. It looks like Christos is about to get his other sword upgrade.
Yep, and for Lumberjack, he actually don't need those rependants, you don't need the pedestal, you only need to beat
Actually,
Agawan and
he already got it. Sorry, I'm a little talkative today.
if we are going ahead and doing this room in the dark hole, Christos gets some arrows from the kid and better gets them away from the kid, he would just hurt himself. So what Christos just did there was a spin speed clip. He um, charged up a spin speed just like you would do if you want to do the square speed, that's minor glitch, and then was able to just walk through wall because the game is good. And Espeon got their crystal, second crystal, 26 minutes in, just 14 minutes after the other one.
Considering the pattern of routing, I'm wondering if Espeon is going to go ahead and try the Dark World, just skipping over that green pendant entirely.
I don't think the green pen is on his mind right now because with going into the dark world right now, he has so much stuff open to him. But the one thing he should have done before that would have been a check towards the South Shore area. We have pendants in Wizarding Maya and Ice Palace, and we got the other 5-6 crystal in From Palace, which means we don't need to care about 5-6 crystals this time.
And Christos just defeated Moldor.
Meanwhile, Espeon jumps a lot. He jumps a lot again, and then just moves left and is for some reason right down here. The reason this works is the game keeps track of your position in two ways. Once in your local position and once in your global position. Using your local position for the collision you are in and using your global position for stuff like placing mirror portals or going through transitions. And so he was able to confuse the game and place him down here.
And there's zero hype in Hype Cave.
Well, they got some money back that Zora stole before, so I guess that's something.
Okay, so maybe I'll give that Hype Cave a 1 out of 10.
Talking about something hyped, there are some bits. They are 100% not required for the seed. Not even talking about digits, even just for the logic. You can skip the bits in the seed because the only requirement for them would have been Ice Palace.
And Christos just picked up his red boomerang in Super Bunny Cave.
Some people call that the worst boomerang, but I personally like it. An Espeon screen got some visual glitches offset that you so much like. If you enter Maya in one way that is not normal, the game gets confused, can't load the actual rain, and gets some messy stuff. And I personally was not able to catch what was the Maya medallion. I hope Chat got me on that one.
Excuse me. It was a very, very quick edge of the screen check, so I did not catch it either.
Well, now Espeon checks the digging game. Fun fact for everyone trying to do the digging game in vanilla. The digging game in vanilla is rigged because you will have to dig at least 25 times before you get a chance on the heart piece.
Christos heading into pod.
With that bow in hand, you will be able to clear most of pod without problems. The one thing you will not be able to clear is the boss. You
And
find
we
the
have
lamp
the
now.
lantern.
Yeah, now everything of that is actually in logic.
Espeon just getting another arrow capacity upgrade. And heading into Thieves Town.
Yeah, doing Seastone. That's his first. That's his third battle. I personally hope that we are going to see a lot of weird glitches from Espeon using those battles um, before he fights those gloves, and even before he finds the mirror. ChristosOwen smartly setting up a death warp, gets into this room here with just half heart so a bomb can kill him easily.
And he has the tempered sword.
With that we know the position of all four swords and we know boost players will never get the last one.
No butter for our toast tonight.
That exactly also means we will not be able to just poke the pig. It's always fun to see that.
Yeah, that early silvers, I think, pretty much sealed that.
I don't think either player would have chosen to do Ganon even if he would have been just a Master Sword without silvers.
Christos finally has a shield.
Two more and we will have a really easy time if we decide to do Laser Bridge. Okay, that looked like Christos wanted to do the hammer jump, but then decided to no, I will actually just death rope after this, maybe.
Espeon going ahead and grabbing the Maiden, who We all know who that really is. And we have Kane of Somaria on Christos' side.
Yeah, I hope Family is here so he can scream out. I didn't pay enough attention on Espeon's side to know if there is an item in the big shed. I know he found the Smoky, of course, and the map. Meanwhile, Christos is on his way into Ganon's tower using that cane. He will be able to get 7 items, I think. No, 8.
You'll see who the maiden is, Chelsea. You will see, chat. I see you asking.
It's the Maiden Zelda.
And of course, blind is beaten on Espeon's side.
Espeon with that crystal 3 crystals. He will have to get to Place of Darkness. And if the hammer is in the right side of the castle, he will have to do so without the cane from Aria.
Thanos for Maiden 2018. I like that one.
Christos did the tire room and got a key. But the decision to do the tire room in this case is, in my opinion, completely justifiable. Just because you will want to get all items you can get right now, so doing that is fully normal.
And Christos gets grabbed by the wall master and sent back to the entrance.
That, on the other hand, is not the thing he wanted.
He wanted to get through that door.
But he is able to show off some more of the Mario spec.
Espeon finding the map. Christos is enjoying playing baseball with the Cane of Samaria. And there's the Cane of Burna.
The King of Bona is actually a really nice weapon against ice armors. But we already got the bow, so I don't think he will actually use that one. He will just use it to get through this room, because that room is really jammed. Meanwhile, Espeon is finally going towards the South Shore, will grab his second medallion, will grab his first staff, his fire rod, and most importantly, the Bucknet and Mini Murder.
Christos working on ice armos, making relatively quick work of them.
Yeah, took him about 20 minutes less than I would take.
He handled the ice floor quite well.
And Espeon picked up his glove, his fire rod, and his second, probably thinking, okay, now I have to do second him.
Espeon checking out Ice Rod Cave, but we already knew what was in there.
Christos at this point, he already did most of the checks here on the right side of that mountain. So the thing he will do now is go into Turtle Rock. He will be able to get everything but the boss with that kind of Samaria. And since he got the Quake Medallion which is needed to actually open the entrance, which we don't really need to do, he has actually everything of that in logic. No matter the key placement in here.
And Espeon got his mitts.
He didn't seem too happy about them.
I believe you said they were 100% not required, so I can understand why.
Christos realizing he does not have enough keys to go in here, he didn't use his keys intelligent enough. But I think he got the big key, so he will be able to get the big chest and one more item on the way to Laser Bridge. Where Espeon does a nice little auto walk that actually is set up just by the game being designed quite very fast.
Okay,
And
looks like the medallion we missed at Misery Mire was the Bombos medallion.
yeah, and since the Bombers medallion is not, since mine is a penalty seat, we don't 100% need it, but yeah, still missing the ice rod, the hammer, so the mirror, so some items can be on the pedestal. The hammer itself can't be because of ice palace.
Christos decided just to use the Cane of Berna and getting another bottle in Turtle Rock. This one also with a red potion.
Yeah, we found all the wallets. Espeon is missing one in Charles Rock, while Christos is missing one in Thieves Town. Christos, meanwhile, looks like he is going back and wants to get those 3 items out of the front of the rock.
Watching him clip through that cliff has been kind of painstaking. It's watching him wriggle the way he does.
Yeah, it's actually not hard. You just need to make sure to never hit up until you are ready to do the jump. Then you can theoretically do a single up in there, but I personally too scared to do that. And Christos finds out, I actually need some magic. But luckily he has a green potion. One of those buds came filled.
And Espeon coming up against Mothula now.
I personally have to say, so far I like Espeon's way of doing things a bit more. Going for the crystals you can actually complete. Meanwhile,
Christos found the mirror, yep.
Yep. Meanwhile, Christos finds the mirror with that we can now get Pyramid Fairy and of course get a few items in Swamp Palace. Not all, we still need the hookshot for that. And of course the hammer. Hammer first shot Swamp confirmed. And while I was talking about the hammer, we got the hammer from Moss. So that's nice. Really nice. Christos is now going ahead doing a map wrap. Will do a map wrap if he does everything correctly and get right into Squirrels from here. He now needs to make sure 100% that he never goes right. If he would go right for a single pixel, well, if he gets pushed there or move himself, he would be hard locked. Would not be able to do 7 crit or anything. And our other item from Schoolwoods was a blue rupee. Not a thing we really wanted.
We've pretty much done everything that needs rupees at this point.
Espeon seems to want to set up. Very nice trick. I wonder with what kind of potion he's going to do it. Of course, the blue one, if he gets the timing right, he will be able to use the flute, not the actual flute, in the Dark World. And he missed it, he just drank the potion.
And now it's Christos' turn with Mothula.
Having the Tempest Word, the fight gets really trivial, just hit him 4 times. Christos with that mirror in hand will be able to do a few of the stuff a bit quicker, and he will be able to just check the pedestal right now. And check pedestal. I'm sorry.
Ped is dead, long live the Ped. I think that just basically made Espeon's life just a little bit easier, though, considering they have not gone for any of the pendants. There's no wasted time there at this point.
Actually, Espeon will save a few seconds over Christos, since Espeon got the extra chest from the pyramid ledge. He will be able to go into pot somewhat soon. Like, he will probably clip in here right now. Afterwards, he will be able to do turtle work and finish it up first try. So at this point, we are only hookshot away from no mode. Maybe that's the drop from him also. This was at 52 minutes, having found all 4 bullets at first person.
It'll be interesting to see how the Ped being dead will affect who gets to Ganon's tower first and who completes it first. Because I think Espeon really is a little bit ahead here because of that. It just depends upon where that hook shot is and who finds it first.
Well, since Espeon never went to Gensau, getting the red cane in here might lead him there soon. And I don't think we got the big key in one of the chests on the right side, otherwise Christos would have been able to finish that off already.
Espeon hopping into that nice abyss there.
Interesting decision, at least. He did have a key, so he would have been able to get that. But I think he counted the items that are on there and found out that, hey, that must be a key. Because in the first 6 chests on the Path of Darkness, there can only be 4 keys, and if you find only 2 items and at least 4 keys, and if you find 2 items, you know everything else will be a key. Christos just found the Sanctuary Heart, the one and only heart container that will refill your hearts.
And here Christos is coming up against Blind.
I'm sure Christos will be able to execute this fight excellently.
I have no doubts. And note that both our runners now have Tempered, which will probably be the highest level sword that either of them has.
Yeah, both of them are able to get the gold sword right now. I don't think that's anything they want to do, because they would have to do the castle tower for Ganon first.
Espeon playing a little bit of bomb tennis as he dies.
Yep. He wants to get to the front of the dungeon again and be able to beat Helmarsol King right now. Meanwhile, Christos did a very common mistake. I think he wanted to go to the Ding game, but he did pick up the frog first. He realized it before he went to the Ding game, though.
And Christos is checking the peg cave. Just a big 20.
Yeah, to answer a question in chat, the mirror that is in the usual first chest of Turtle Rock. So it's Red Cane. Espeon just found the Red Cane like 2 minutes ago, so he will be able to get that right now.
Piece of heart from the blacksmiths. And
5 years, yeah.
Yep, he gets Christos gets a shield upgrade.
Yeah, nice, more like. And you already got everything that the shield actually makes easier out of the way.
And Espeon finishing off the Helmasaur King.
Getting his 5th crystal with the possibility of getting the 6th crystal. And we know that the one and only item that is holding our runnings from go mode is the hookshot. That could actually be in one of the chests in Swamp.
I'm wondering if Espeon is trying to save Turtle Rock for last, if at all possible. It would make sense because Ganon's tower is right there, and if he can get a full complete, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
You currently are thinking about no glitches logic because Espeon is right now on the way to Ganon's tower.
Oh, he is. Got it. See, I learn something new every day, and this is why I do what I do.
Yep, just a quick little hop off that ledge, and we are directly in front of Ganon's tower. The game gets a bit confused about our position, and will actually be able to get quite a lot of chests in here. Logically, we know that on the left side we don't need to check that many chests because the hook shot can't be in most of them.
Alright, and Christos going after the Helmosaur King himself. Chipping away at that mask with that hammer.
I personally do hope that he afterwards decides to either go into Ganon's tower and remembers, hey, I could actually also do Pyramid Parry, or decides to go ahead and directly go to the pyramid and get his ice rod because that's needed this seed. Oh, Espeon got quite close there because some of those jellyfishes things came in his way.
Espeon having a little bit of trouble with his bomb throws because of those Gibdos.
Finally decides to just kill them. A person who would have probably killed them before anything, but it's totally fine to try it. I'm sorry, without killing any of those.
Christos just did a spike cave check and it was a rupee.
Yeah, he collects hearts, so his next action looks like he will decide to go into Glen's tower again. Just get out. Usually when you go out here, you see people do a spin speed out of here with one of the invincibility items, which looks really sick if you get it quickly. Or Christos goes me on and places a mirror, which is good. And Christos, please learn to place the mirror a bit lower. If he would place the mirror a bit lower, he would be able to just get out of Pyramid Fairy Cave first try. Another thing that I don't think we saw from either player is escape, and while we did saw the
I
uncles
believe
early,
Christos got the 3 chests in escape very early on. Either that or else it was Espeon. Someone
uh,
checked the 3 chests, and I'm pretty sure it
well,
was Christos.
well, they checked this. Christos checked the screen in the back, but not the front.
Right, exactly. Whereas I think Espeon checked both. I think. Faulty memory, folks. I might be wrong.
I'm sure someone in chat remembers, is able to point out how dumb we are.
Yep, Christos is going to get his ice rod now.
Now Christos is hookshot away from go mode. Meanwhile, Espeon uh, is deciding to do certain checks that are not able to have the hookshot in them. They have the bombers. I hope he will not go into Maya because Maya has nothing that he needs.
Yeah, I was about to say Meyer's pretty much dead at this point.
Thanks to that bombers, we also now know that well, we already knew it because Christos checked, but with that, we know that Maya is 100% locked, and with Maya, the pedestal is also locked. Meanwhile, Christos is doing something that is called mirror wrap, and we hope it's a mirror at the same frame you transition, game gets confused, and well, you travel over, I think exactly half the screen. Please, in chat, tell me I'm wrong.
It looked pretty sizable. Okay, yeah, chat just verified. Espeon did Uncle, Christos did back 3 chests. Because the back 3 chests are where Flute was.
And we find half magic in one of the chests that Christos will never get. Interestingly, Espeon also did decide to not finish up on Ganon Tower right now. Same time we are going to see Espeon go into a third rock, grabbing his sixth crystal. He will also find the mirror on the way, which will bring him right one item away from go mode. Since Espen is not opening the front part of Toy Rock, I do hope that he will use his keys a bit more wisely than Christos did earlier.
Chat is asking, has anyone checked Shovel Spot?
I don't think I saw anyone go over there, so I don't think so. And yes, Espeon is using the keys more intelligent. Will be able to skip the vanilla big key chest for now, but therefore will not have to open the front part of Treasure Rock the intended way. Espeon using the Arcane of Mana to survive this horrible, horrible decision by Nintendo.
What, including Chain Chomps and Zelda?
Making them do the second highest damage in the game is also not a good idea.
Well, when you're a big metal ball on a chain, Espeon now has his mirror, I mean, of course you're going to do quite a bit of damage.
And Chet is asking why the Bombers medallion in at the place where it is on the in the Star Wars room in Ganon's Tower puts Mizumar completely out of uninteresting for us. And the reason for that is the chest was in uh, it's a chest that requires a hookshot by logic. Even though we are out to do glitches, the bomb jumps are not considered glitches. That are just sequence breaks, like usual. So we know the hookshot will not be in there. And Christos is doing the gamble into Swamp Paris. I do think that's pretty much everything he has left.
It is because everything else that he has left to do is a pendant as far as dungeons are concerned. He only has Ice Palace and Mire unmarked.
Okay, Shed right now pointing out a quite really possibility of a vanilla hookshot. I am wanting to do up that possibility with hookshot in the chest before Moldom 2, because boost players are not able to hover. They will boost have to do the check without hovering. They will boost have to go over there knowing that they might not be able to complete the part. Oh, Espeon taking this. I would not be worried if he actually wanted to take the death, just because of his health situation. Um,
Also, I guess I wasn't fully wrong even when thinking about glitchless logic. Espeon did end up in Turtle Rock very last.
well, he would still have to do Swamp Palace before finishing the siege. He will also need to
Oh, good point. I did
do
miss
Gamon's
Swamp
Tower.
Palace. Well, never mind. Here I was trying to brag and didn't work.
Yeah,
I
even
tried.
in yeah, even in glitch logic, you often see players do just rock last if they have Galen's Tower still left, even though it is not technically faster to just do the cutscene. You can the clip in there is a bit faster than from a second quit. Espen looks like he counted his keys, knows, hey, that last chest, that must be a key. So he can just skip it and don't worry about anything. And Swamp Pass? Well, there's no vanilla or even French vanilla hookshot in there, so nothing that is nice.
Espeon going ahead and full clearing Turtle Rock.
Yeah, which actually will tie the crystals with Christos. Meanwhile, Christos looks like he's deciding to go Swamp Ice Palace. No, he cuts the duck, or okay, he goes to Ice Palace.
That's an interesting choice considering he hasn't full cleared Swamp Palace yet.
Well, he can't full click Swamp Palace. He needs a hookshot for that. Hookshot is his go mode item.
So the hookshot is ending up probably to be an Appendant Palace. Or Ice Palace, probably.
Yes, the only planet that we have not seen all items from is Ice Palace because we never gone in there. But there are also 3 chests in Dennis Tower that the hookshot still can be in, and no one wants to check them. Well, not without being able to hover at least. First item in Ice Palace, just a big 20. Nothing they want to see at this point.
Except for the killer penguins.
We'll answer a meme in chat. Boots are free. Boots are given out to start out the seat.
Espeon with his checkerboard cave check, which as we know is only 3 bombs.
And it looks like Espeon might go over to oh, we do not. I guess 6-bit at this point. Maybe
Christos with an expertly positioned bomb jump. That was beautiful.
nothing less than I would expect from someone with the skill of ChristosOwen.
Still no hook shot. This is going to be very interesting.
Since we are currently in Ice Palace and someone just asked it, the Ice Palace key logic is actually quite interesting. If you get 1 or 2 small keys in the free chest, basically you can get into the right side of Ice Palace without the hookshot. But if you also find the big key in one of the 3 chests, Ice Tea Room, the Freezer Room, and the Ice Penguin Room, the right side is actually hookshot locked because you now can kill your keys without getting into the right side.
I do believe, did we not see the big key already in Ice Palace?
We did found big key in Ice Palace on the in the vanilla big key chest.
We have go mode.
Yes, and I sure hope that Espeon is now thinking, okay, let's get to Ice Palace quick, really quick.
And this is what I was wondering would happen. Since Espeon started out very strong in the crystal count, I was wondering if something was going to be locked somewhere and that was going to allow Christos to catch up.
Yeah, the longer the ranks took, the more Christos was able to just shine with his execution. Because even though we are allowed to do a lot of glitches in the later part of the game, you can just just roll justice by just by execution. Of course, the flute that Christoph found very early on in the escape was also one of those things that gave him a quite big advantage. Espeon just placed a nice little mirror portal, the position he will be able to clip into the current ferry, and then drop into the back of his cave. Since he came from the mountain, the camera was misaligned and he was able to directly go into the hula room. Christos with Master Sword in hand, with silver arrows, and Gomod, of course, deciding to not even give the second for checking the one chest in the waterfall of Four Palace.
And Christos going ahead with that is Argus, I believe.
Argo's a red big thing, and his little puffs are called Argani, as far as I know. And there he gets another big 20 and his 7th crystal on top of that. Now still has to go over beat against Tower. He has the big key in there, of course, so he will be able to just get go up there. We also don't have to check chest upstairs, I believe, because he has the keys needed. Espeon finds the flute, thinks, okay, I don't need it, but Christos probably has set it for like 1 hour, and he's actually correct with that. And thanks to that 1 hour flute, he was able to shave off a lot of seconds for Espeon. Espeon now going over to Ice Palace. This will, of course, bring him directly to Hookshot, which is confirmed, just a bit late.
Beamos are the bane of my existence. Just putting that out there.
For me, it's just normal ice physics. I hate ice. Can remove ice from the game.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help either.
Christos getting trolled by the one star first that always goes right, except when you actually remember to shoot it.
And yet again, pretty short work for Landmolus too.
Espeon meanwhile remembers they don't have to actually beat the dungeon, they just want items near, and decides to not do the bomb jump. And looks like the routing from Espeon will lead him to the main chest here first, because he knows the logic for his palace. He knows if he finds the big in the IST room now, he would know he will not have to check any more chests in here. But he could still check the boss because that would be logic, I think, based on keys. But finding the hookshot is like, oh, I don't have to check anything anymore.
Christos on Moldorm too. We'll see how he does. That was very, very close.
Rule well executed. Not checking the chest, just waste time. There's no meme to be fulfilled.
And Christos is up against Aghanim too. Did anyone even bother, or did Christos bother with verification chest?
That chest does not exist. That's just a chest for Modern 2. And no, he did not open it.
I did not think so, but chat was wondering, so.
Yeah, if you're in game 1, maybe game 2, you think, okay, maybe let's do this meme, let's open it. If you're in the game 3, you're just like, okay, I need to get this done quick so I can move on. And give us some nice cheese facts. Christos executing with the Ganon fight really good. Getting a really simple 1-1. Well, he at least made it look simple.
Very much so. It's always nice watching a seasoned veteran like Christos do fights like these.
And with that, the pig is dead for Christos. Get your GG's in chat. And with that, ChristosOwen finishes with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 30 minutes and 34 seconds. Yes, he did it.
And I believe we are going to see if Christos wants to do an interview, correct?
Yeah, I'm currently trying to reach out to him. Meanwhile, Espeon getting his 7th crystal, so he will now only have to do Ganon's tower and then go on and beat the pig himself. And we are joined by ChristosOwen, winner of this match, getting winning the third match of this match. So GG.
GG, Christos.
Yo, thank you very much, guys. It was probably one of the best I've played, actually, in this tournament. I felt like my execution was really good. I didn't actually do too much glitching, kind of some just straightforward ones, but the execution of those was pretty solid, except for my early soft lock into the race game. Everything else really went quite well. It just came down to a hunt for the hook shot.
I want to say it was probably your chosen file names that gave you good luck.
Oh yeah, it was a really frustrating start to this. Literally, we'd both readied up in the race channel, and it was like, okay, we're gonna start within 1 minute. And then just as that message got posted, my internet decided to die. So I was desperately trying to reconnect and just couldn't. My internet kept reconnecting and disconnecting repeatedly. I didn't know if the race had started. I didn't know like if it stabilized or when it stabilized, whether I was just going to have to continue and Espeon would have already started. So I was getting pretty frustrated.
Yeah, it's completely understandable. Having internet issues is really not fun.
I do have to say what was really interesting is by crystal count, Christos, you actually started off behind and you pulled out from behind really easily. What do you think about having that knowledge now after the race?
Actually, that doesn't surprise me. From what I know about Espeon's gameplay, he likes to skip the south shore of the light world at the start and tends to go straight up to Death Mountain. So I'm guessing he probably had Hera beat before me. I spent time doing kind of all the South Shore, all the Light World. I was extremely thorough with my Light World today, which
You
paid
were.
off. I found a glove and a fire rod in the South Shore, which was really good. Nothing too much else, I don't think. Sorry, go on.
Well, one thing you found early, thanks to the glove of the South Shore, was the fruit, and that definitely did save a lot of time over Espen that just found it like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, wow. Where I don't even remember where that was. Where was the flute?
In the back of Escape.
Ah. Oh, that's surprising that he probably just forgot to check that early, I guess.
He checked Uncle and you checked the chests.
Okay, but then I'm still surprised he skipped going through the graveyard to get those 3. I guess if he skipped South Shore for quite a long time, then he probably wouldn't have had a glove early game. So
Yeah.
I can kind of see that. I feel like that was more him just forgetting than choice, because that's a strange 3 chests to just skip over.
Yeah.
Which
Once
sucks
you
for
got...
him because the flute was pretty helpful.
Yeah. Once you got the glove, he had quite a lot of other things he could do. So, and he died. Damn, please have a fairy. Have a fairy, please. No, has to do the gauntlet over.
That is too bad at this point because already he is almost 6 minutes slower at this point.
Oh, there's no shame in that. Like that's
No,
actually not that.
I'm not saying that as like shaming,
Oh no,
but
yeah,
it's just unfortunate.
yeah. Well, dying is always unfortunate, unless you're death warping. But in Overworld glitches, like given how volatile things can be and how much routing there is, 6 minutes really isn't too bad. I think anything within like 10 minutes of a finish is a pretty decentish race, to be honest.
It's still better than I would do. I have yet to finish anything.
Well, talking about finishing those, learning the basics that is needed for one of them takes about 20 minutes, and afterwards you got the knowledge to finish them.
So I didn't quite
Okay.
catch that. Was that a question to me there? I didn't quite catch what you said.
No, I just wanted to say that it's quite easy to learn those, and it takes about 20 minutes to get the basics to the point that you are able to finish one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's a question from chat. Why did you skip Blind's Hut for so long?
I just forgot to check it. It was pretty stupid. I have no idea why. My brain just switched off momentarily, and I just realized when I had the bottle, I was like, wait, like there's more in town that I haven't done, because I was trying to route in when I should go back for Sick Kid, and I was like, is there anything I can do in Kakariko? I was like, well, I can't do Magic Bat, and I was like, wait, I never actually went into Blind's Hut, which is pretty stupid. But I'm obviously glad to have gone back for the sword upgrade, but in the end, it wouldn't have mattered too much because I found another sword upgrade somewhere.
Yeah, we are really hoping for you to either go back or find another sword upgrade, because we already knew the last one, and we know you didn't want it to go that way.
Yeah, but it definitely wasn't a deliberate decision. I just somehow forgot to check that, which is really bizarre. It's not something I've ever done before, I don't think.
I do have to say, I got very excited at early silvers.
It's always nice to have.
Yeah, early silvers always A+.
Especially
Just
since we got
finding
the
the
bow
bow
quite early.
is usually the issue. But that was pretty early too, actually. I don't remember where that was. Kakariko, maybe, or something.
In the well, actually.
That's right. So yeah, I thought about going to Eastern super early. Honestly, finding flute really changed my routing early game, because I could just flute all around the light world to check everything pretty efficiently. So that early flute find really impacted my routing.
Absolutely. It's a lot quicker. Even if it's not something that's 100% needed, it does help with that efficiency.
But yeah, an Ice Palace hookshot is, well, A, it sucks because it's a pendant, but B, it's actually super unlikely that will happen. It requires a pretty like particular key layout for that to be possible.
Well, in this case, there was no actually required key layout, because the hookshot was in one of the chests that is never hookshot locked.
Sorry, I just had to clench for a moment because Espeon almost fell in Moldorm too.
And
But-
fancy automate upgrade in the last chest.
So, Christos, you would have had red mail had you picked that up. Not that it was really
invalidation chest.
Moldorm 2 chest. Yeah.
Very nice. I usually do grab it too.
Yeah,
But-
Espeon decided to never pick up the blue mail that late on. Like, Kaya wanted to go through the seek apparently on green mail, and then he finds the blue mail in the last chest.
Yeah, I mean, I was never going to pick it up immediately because I would have had to have saved and quit. Like, it would have been its own little sequence. But then when I had flippers later and wanted to go and check like all the Zora area anyway, I was like, well, I can flew to 4, pick up blue mail, hop off the island, and then go up to Zora's domain. And at that point, I think I only had 5 hearts. So I was like, if we find Pearl soon and I'm hitting Dark World, then this blue mail is going to be really helpful.
Yes, that's definitely a thing. A very well done voting. Could of course have been that the flippers are really deep in the sheet, but they luckily were not.
Yeah, I don't actually remember where the flippers were.
I think they were in the back of the tavern.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember now. But yeah, no, it was interesting with hookshot just being the item required. The thing I was fearing was hookshot being upstairs in Ganon's tower, and I nearly did that. Like, I was really indecisive after my Swamp Palace dive because obviously didn't find hookshot in there.
Cat was hoping for hookshot Ganon's tower. I saw a couple of comments relating to that.
I also was hoping for that. I'm not sorry.
I thought about the possibility when I was in GT pretty early on, but then just missing hookshot meant it couldn't be on the left side of Ganon's tower. Well, I think there's one chest it could have been in on the left of Ganon's tower.
Yep,
So,
there's one chest on the left that
yeah.
can be in.
So I was thinking, should I go to Swamp? Should I go to Ice? Or should I go to GT? And honestly, just gambling on GT and spending all that time going up to Moldorm 2 and then having to leave and reclimb. Like, you have to be really brave to make that decision early on, I think. That's like, this is a really good example of a seed where a hover player would have a huge advantage over a non-hover player, because that just wouldn't have been a concern for them and they would have cleared GT on their first trip.
Yeah, that makes me think there's one particular player I would love to see that kind of seed on then.
Well, there are quite a lot of players in the Overworld Legends tournament that actually can hover. I think about half of the remaining, over half of them I actually would say, can hover quite consistently.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, really good hoverers. Andy seems to get the most recognition. I'm not quite sure why. There's a lot, like, at this point, there's so many players who can hover successfully and consistently.
I think for Andy, it's because it's such a meme when he hovers that people just get wrapped up in the joke.
I mean, it's because he has such a huge exposure with his community, I think. So, and obviously a large portion of his community also watch the speed gaming races and things.
And Espeon just finished a moment ago with a time of 1:43:05 on SRTV.
Very much worthy of a GG, I think. Not that I wouldn't give him a GG, but GG.
Absolutely.
And you can add some nice cheese facts.
And let's see if Espeon would also like to join us in our little party.
Espeon's at least in the waiting room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Getting ready to join, I'm sure. There we go. Hi, Espeon.
Hello.
GG.
Yeah, GG.
GG's, dude.
GG's.
What a nasty distribution of items.
I thought about dipping Ice Palace 4 times. 4 times, and I didn't do it once, and that probably would have sealed the deal.
It actually probably would have, because you were ahead in the crystal count for quite a bit, and I think that is probably where the game lied.
Yeah, so the first time I got Fire Rod really late and the glove, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Ice Palace now, and then I didn't do it. And I got the hammer, and I'm like, great, Chris probably got this about half an hour earlier than I did. And then I thought about going to Ice Palace, and I didn't do it. Then I think I got Samaria somewhere, and I was like, okay, now I really have to go to Ice Palace. I still didn't do it. And when I got Mitts, I was like, okay, the seed is like really pointing me towards Ice Palace, and I still didn't do it. I didn't go to Ice Palace for the entire seed, even though I knew that everything was pushing me there, and I didn't do it.
Well, you would not have been able to go to Ice Palace without either Mitts or the mirror, with the mirror being behind the kind of Samaria and Mitts behind the first love.
Were Mitts behind First Glove? I forget where they were.
They were, well, technically you could have dipped into Hookshot Cave, but for the logic they were.
Oh yeah, Hookshot Cave. I was gonna go in there anyway if I didn't have Glove by that point.
Yeah, see, that's a clip I just have no idea how to do. But yeah, what's ironic is it never crossed my mind that we found Mitts early, so Ice Rod was likely. I died Swamp Palace without the hook shot before going to Ice, which was pretty nasty.
Well, but it's
I mean,
a logical play.
And I played pretty badly overall too, and then I just went and died in Gauntlet. So I was like, okay, I don't really care anymore. I'm just gonna stop being good. Also, there was the part where I was going to Palace of Darkness for about 2 screens, and I turned around because I remembered that hammer pegs existed, and that was really stupid. I don't know, that just like sticks in my mind because it was like a really pointless time loss that I just didn't have to do at all. Also, I failed YBA there. That's another stupid thing. I should be not terrible at YBAs.
Yeah. One of the things that you had over Christos was actually the routing of some of the dungeons. You went into Palace of Darkness, were able to finish it first clear, while Christos dipped it once and then came back for the boss. Same for Turtle Rock, you found the Ice Rod before dipping Turtle Rock, so you were able to complete that the first time in there.
But
Yeah, I double dipped.
Double dipped like every dungeon.
Yeah, I double dipped a lot. I double dipped
Because you got Flute and I didn't.
Yeah. So like I was able to just get to places really quick. So the double dipping didn't really bother me too much. Like I full cleared pod without hammer as much as I could. And then obviously just went back to kill Trinex, to kill Helmasaur. Same with Total Rock. Then I just mirror wrapped back in to kill Trinex. Never set foot in Maya. Ice, just the one trip.
You can actually, you can logically rule out Meyer if you're just looking for a hookshot, because Bombos was in DM's room, I think so.
Okay, I never actually did left side GT because I went in there before I found Hammer when I just had Samaria and Fire Rod, and then by the time I'd done all the other crystals, the only thing I was missing was Hookshot. So I was like, okay, well, it's not left side GT then.
Yeah. We are just getting your collection rates 153 to 156, so really close together.
That's kind of interesting, actually, given you did left side GT and I didn't. I wonder where else I picked up quite a lot of things.
Well, Espeon never finished the other spells, so 2 items there. I think Espeon only did Swamp Palace once, so
Yeah,
also...
I go moded Swamp.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I get how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chests.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah. I got the big key on the left side, and then after having to do like 2 trips to get the 2 left items, I was like, okay, please be vanilla hookshot. This will be fantastic. And it was like 20 rupees or a piece of heart or something.
Also, another thing Espeon was able to do, he didn't do the vanilla big key chest in Ice Palace. I think he wanted to see if hookshot can even be on there. First.
Yeah, that was my reasoning behind that.
It can be. Actually, with the key layout we had, it could have been on the right-hand side.
Yeah, but only if the iced tea chest was not the big key, then it could be.
Yeah, I found the big key on the right-hand side, so it meant hookshot could have been on the right. But it wasn't. It was on the left. So I found that after doing the right clear of ice. It would have made more sense to go straight to Ice Tea, because it had a much greater chance of being in there if it was in Ice Palace.
So, I think we will slowly going to wrap this up. Does anyone of you have something last to say about the seed?
When Chris had internet issues and then he came back, we were thinking about re-rolling the seed. And then we both said, no, let's not re-roll it. So that was a mistake. We should have made a new seed.
I actually agree with that. This wasn't... Like, from my point of view, I did really few glitches in this. I feel like I just didn't really do a lot. Because I had the flute and mitts and hammer and pearl. A lot of my routing was just NMG.
Yeah, on the other hand, I just kind of jumped around everywhere as much as I could to try and chain stuff together. And yeah, I guess that's been a theme of all of our races is our 2 different strengths. And so you try and do NMG stuff and I try and do glitch stuff. And then it works out for you better because the seed says so.
Yeah, exactly. It just depends on how the items are distributed as to which one's going to be better for a particular seed.
I do think that either one of these play styles could have worked. Like you said, it just depends upon what's where.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I know. Oh, sorry, Christos. I know for me, I was thinking more in a glitchless standpoint. Like, what are they going to do next? Because that's what I've seen more of, and I do think any NMG, I probably kind of subconsciously picked up on the fact that you were doing a lot of NMG kind of style of play.
Yeah, it just made the most sense what I had. Like, I obviously incorporated a lot of the simple stuff, but I didn't even DMA because I had the flute, so I just fluted to the mountain.
Yeah, and on the other hand, I was gloveless for like a half an hour, probably 40 minutes, maybe pretty long time. So that was actually not an impediment at all because gloves are really not important in glitches.
My early game was actually a bit unusual. I accidentally softlocked getting the item in the race game. So
dang. If only that later.
So then I
what was it? It was like 50 rupees or something.
Yeah, but I was thinking Zora money. So then I saved and quit to Link's house and did South Shore, and I found Ether, Fire Rod, Glove. I was like, okay, this is good. And then after finding Glove, I did Back of Escape and found Flute, activated flute and then just fluted over to desert and tidied up the desert area, including beating the dungeon for the green pendant.
Oh yeah, because you had Fire Rod. I
which
never
had
beat Desert.
nothing. Yeah, it was 20 rupees in Sahasrara. But that meant then like straight after that, I then like just fluted straight to Eastern. I just beat Eastern because I had the Fire Rod. I was like, okay, the Dark Rune's now free. And then beat that, and then I think I did like the flipper stuff. And then finally went up Death Mountain at like 20 minutes in. So super late for Overworld glitches.
Yeah, I did Death Mountain at like 8 minutes in or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it did feel weird to leave it that long, but I was like, well, I'm gonna beat all 3 Light World dungeons within like 25-30 minutes. This isn't that bad. Like my brain just was in glitch mode when I flew up.
Yeah, the
I
Floating Island clip onto Pearl.
What about that clip? Sorry.
Like, did you know that one? I don't know. It just seems like a weird, obscure one.
Yeah, luckily I revised how to do that yesterday.
I was hoping, like, I saw it, and I'm like, I hope Christos doesn't know this.
If that was in game 1, I would have been there for like forever trying to do it, and I would have just bailed.
Like,
I would have just
Christos actually was able to do even the boost method that I completely struggled with, so very good, well done.
Yeah, I spent like 10 minutes just understanding how the boost method works. And like now I understand it is free to do.
And it's just you just dash in on a specific pixel or something. I don't know, it's not too hard to line up.
Yeah, it was just learning like what the thing was. But yeah, when I fluted up Death Mountain, for some reason I didn't Heraclip. Like I just got spin speed and ran up the mountain, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, why did I do that? So I was like, okay, I'm not going to make this a total waste. So then I just decided to do East Death Mountain first and like clip through the wall at the top of Death Mountain. I was like, wow, that was stupid. But I actually did some pretty interesting, like, this is the first time I've actually done the Dark Death Mountain to Skullwoods clip. That was really nice.
Yeah, we were really worrying that you might don't take it safe enough and hit right runs and get soft locked after finding the mirror and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it would have been annoying. I would have lost a good like 5 or so minutes of progress if I soft locked there.
There actually, I think, was only the one soft lock, wasn't there? I didn't notice very many others.
For me, yeah, just the race game. Because I barely did any glitches. Like, I didn't DMD once.
And I think for Espeon there was also only one soft lock while trying to do the Turtle Rock climb.
Yeah, that was actually really dumb. So I intentionally lined up the upwards teleport, and then I redid it, and then I was like, wait, I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't like a mistake in the teleporting or anything. You can see me intentionally poking around trying to get the upwards teleport, and then I do it, and then I realize, wait, this is the wrong place.
So easy to do. For many tips you are like, okay, that's the upward. Oh no, damn.
Yeah, I've definitely done that a few times too. But yeah, for an overall glitch to see, this was pretty unusual for me. Like, I never once went to the potion shop to buy potions, which is pretty rare.
I think I routed in Eastern at like half an hour in with potion shop grabbing a blue, and then I wasted the blue trying to do a fake fruit and failing it, and I was like kind of tilted at that.
Ah, that's annoying.
Anyway, so GG on beating me in this set. Your next opponent isn't determined yet, I think, but it is one of Gem or Zero Rush, and Zero Rush is basically really good at this game.
Well, so Gem is also very good. So.
Yeah, Gem's great too. I haven't seen much of Gem playing, but I know Zero Rush is basically really good at NMG and also really good at glitches.
Yeah, either player will be really hard to beat. Boost players are good, and boost players are good with glitches, so...
Honestly, I'm much further than I expected to get in this tournament. Like, I've begun to put in some practice and learning, but if I lose the next round, I'm completely fine. Like, I will not at all be disappointed.
Well, even if you lose the next round, it will be half fire, so you will be in the bronze match with again either Furaiman or ALTTTPR.
Oh, there's a bronze match. No. If I lose, I just want to be done with it. Okay, I guess, yeah, I didn't even think about it. The next one's the semis, I guess. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop here. It's nearly midnight for me, and I've got to work tomorrow, so going to head to bed. But yeah, good games again.
Yeah.
GG
I've
and
definitely
sleep
enjoyed
well.
Offset. And yeah, thank you guys for
GG, sleep
commentating
well.
and the rest of the
Yeah.
crew.
Thanks for racing, and our track was ALTTTPR, so thanks to him.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ozapon, because we did have some last minute shuffling, so I really greatly appreciate Danny as our restreamer as well. Thank you both, and thank you, Michael, for being fellow commentary with me.
Well, thanks to you, Axis of Anarchy. It was really great to talk with you. It was really nice to commentate with you, and of course, it was really nice to watch you, ChristosOwen and Espeon races. It was a nice watch.
Absolutely agree.
With that, I think we will close out the stream here. So, thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
I hope everyone enjoyed the stream as well, and I guess it is time to sign off. Everyone have a good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you may be from.